how gently he's flying her up. He practically threw Ju-won into the stratosphere. This is so sexist. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Moving. We're now into episode 12, which is called Partners. So the last episode, we got to see the evolution of Ju-won and basically how he went from being this person who had a really rough life and fell into the wrong crowd and kind of did the wrong things to how he eventually had to fight for his life and also protect somebody that he finally came to care about after he was betrayed by the people he thought that did care about him. But we also find out that he was being tested by the agency that eventually hired him. They had heard about his invincibility, but they didn't really know if it was true, if it was all rumors. So they got his former best friend turned enemy to send everybody that they had to go after him. But at that point, of course, he'd already built a bond with, I can't remember now. Anyways, he'd already formed a relationship with the tea lady, and she was to the point where, let's be face it, she'd fallen in love with him already, and she felt like she was responsible for why all these people were coming after him. She didn't know about his past, but at that point, she didn't care because Ju-won showed in all the time that they'd spent together previously that he wasn't a bad person, even if he did bad things. And so anyways, we see that she basically came to his rescue or tried to come to his rescue, but there was just too many people coming for him. And then eventually we get to the point where he saves her life from being run down. And then he gets knocked off of this bridge, a car pinned, and it looks like it should have been the end for him. But then he is saved at the last minute by Do-shik. Ju-won was brought into the agency. He was given a new code name and he met Do-shik, who is not supposed to tell him his real name, but Do-shik basically said, forget all that. We're friends now. Here's my name. We're equals. Let's just be partners. So that's the beginning of their partnership, which we saw a little bit of a few episodes back when we were first introduced to Do-shik. So I'm thinking since we're hearing partners that now we're going to see Do-shik and Ju-won working together and seeing how that relationship slowly developed. So I'm going to jump into this episode. But just before I do, a reminder that I do a lot of reactions here on this channel, including this great show and a lot of other really fun things. So if you'd like to support my journey in any way, like this episode or this show, I should say, or any of the others, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. We just hit 10K the other day, which was so amazing. And I would really, really love to keep climbing and hit that next goal of 20K. It would mean the world to me. All right. And if you like this video, please do show some love to it and leave some comments below. I love reading them and engaging with you guys. Okay, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. Thank you. I was like, I can't read that. It's not even Korean.
맨날 이렇게 멋진 야경 혼자 보는 게 미안해서.
We're traveling my way. No, for real. I need Bong-seok to get up with it because he is so crazy powerful. I wonder if he'd survive a fall from there. Very true. Very true.
나는 위에서 쏘고 장영은 밑에서 구해.
He's gonna let you go, boo.
하던 대로 하라고.
He's gonna let you do.
작전 시작.
I knew he was gonna do that because you can survive it. I'm so sorry. That's so rude. Sorry. Please don't shoot him. He's been through so much. That's exactly it. Hide. Like, give him some warning. Jeez. Guy needs a whole couple minutes to reorient after being a fall like that. Oh, awkward for you. That's all I get. I don't know why y'all are still standing there. If it was me, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm the man under the table. Bro, why are you so hot? Why are you so cool? That is so cool. They actually make a pretty cool team. They work really well together. Up here. He looks good with that scruff. Sorry, focusing. No drooling over Jo In-sung. No drooling over Jo In-sung.
동무. 일어나시오, 동무.
He will. Just give him a minute. Where'd you even come from?
아니 아파요.
Right?
무슨
무거워서 못 날라. 응? 서울에서 만나요.
Such a jerk. But he's so hot that I forgive him. He's full of crap because he could totally hold them both. I mean, oh, that's true. And you can't speak Russian. So dramatic. I can't. Get up. Get up. Shumai? Dim sum? Dumplings. Mandu. Oh. I don't like it. Can we get him some armor? I mean, I know he can take it, but he shouldn't have to.
칼 안 쓰시잖아요. 항상 갖고 다니시던데.
아버지 유품이야?
Oh. Why did he have a knife? That'd be so creepy. I'm sorry. Like, even though it's Jo In-sung, you just be floating outside my window, we're gonna talk. Because that's creepy as hell.
잘 들어. 새로운 인물이다.
I have such a hard time keeping up with all the dates. Bro, this is why you're gonna get fired from your job. Sitting there fanning yourself like you're the queen of the Nile instead of making sure no one comes zooming through the gate. Really? All of us in this elevator? All of us?
독대하신답니다.
잠깐 커피나 한잔 해. 하던 대로.
Look how tall. Sorry, Jo In-sung is so tall. All these men are like at his shoulders. I'm sorry. It's all I can notice. But explain why you let yourself get taken in. Y'all could have flown away to literally anywhere. I was about to say, y'all cannot hold him down. You know that, right? Wow, sis. Wow. Wow. Damn. It's like that. Damn. Bong-seok is like his dad, man. Just taking these hits left and right. He broke his heart. That's why he's not flying. Never talk to her again. Just kidding. We like Bong-seok. He wouldn't be here if you didn't talk to her again. She better have a good ass reason.
반드시 생포해야 합니다.
But I mean, I guess he did threaten her father. Why are y'all so rough? Like, she just works now. You gotta be putting your hands on her. Ooh, if I was a girl with superpowers, all of them would be getting some.
넌 아닌 기분 조직원이야. 조직을 배신하겠다는 거야. 배신자가 어떻게 처단되는지 몰라.
민용준.
That's right. Calling you by your first name. Forget honorifics, bitch.
살아서 남가부 양쪽에 쫓기는 것으로 하지.
Oh. I thought, like, he's crazy fast. Damn. Bong-seok's that fast and he doesn't even know it yet? Drop his ass out a window, please. Oh, look at how the voice is cracking. I thought you were badass. Oh, now you want to talk? Weren't you just barking orders 2 seconds ago?
그가 위험을 무릅쓰고 돌아온 것은 나를 위해서.
Don't. You have to know that if he's done what he's done to you, she had her reasons, annoyingly enough. Anyways, drop Mr. Min, please. I mean, deserved, but shit. He's like, bro, didn't you just save my life for me saving a woman? Don't do that. was funny. Huh?
다 알고 왔어요. 이 총으로 날 위협해서 빠져나가요.
Oh.
그리고 제 칼을 구룡포한테 주세요. 구룡포가 미연 씨를 도울 겁니다.
I see. Okay, I take back the slander, sis. Although it wasn't really slander because I understand that you kind of, if he threatened your dad, I would have probably done the same thing. So was she pregnant already? I'm so confused. Did he just find her later? How did Bong Sok come to be? Because this was clearly a move for his freedom, right? So that he wouldn't be under their control anymore?
그럼 커피나 한잔 해. 하던 대로.
Shot to the heart.
부탁할 게 있어.
Okay, extra scene. Do what we always do. He takes the top, you take the bottom. That's what we saw so far. That's what we always do. Oh, he let him know where he was going to shoot. Never misses, does he? So she gave him the knife.
하던 대로 그것이 우리만의 마지막 임무였다. 그렇게
Got it.
끝났다.
So what we always do, protect her because I'm going to act like I don't care about her anymore. So that way they won't keep following her and think he won't come back for her. I get it, I think.
군경에 의해 민차장이 부도되었다.
I love it, Petty. That's what you deserve, you little... Petty! I hope you're wet yourself.
청와대에 해명할 수 없었던 이 사건으로 민차장은 좌천되었다.
Good.
돌아오지 않았다.
I mean, it didn't really go well for him last time. You're gonna have to find someplace a little less central in, oh, I don't know, Seoul.
그가 그리웠다.
I would miss Jo and Sung too. Man's fine. I'm sorry. Let's stop.
창가 빈자리로.
저기 너무 밖에서 훤히 보여서 비어 있는 건데 괜찮겠어요? 그래요 그럼.
감사합니다.
예.
Just want to keep my eyes on the sky. Don't want to talk about it, but I do.
나의 일상은 돌아왔지만 그는 여전히 돌아오지 않았다.
Still drinking the coffee she hates, huh? Just like eating that king's portion of tonkatsu she hates.
미연 씨 퇴근 안 하세요?
조금만 더 하다 가려고요.
너무 무리하지 마시고 좀만 하다 퇴근.
Yeah, the government ain't paying you overtime, sis, so do not spend a second more you have to. Even though I know it ain't for work, but still. Okay, so this is the switch from the ANSP to the NIS, or NIA that we saw now. And that's where Min is working. But apparently he got demoted, so even though it looks like he's super powerful in the current, he's clearly not as powerful as he was. But it looks like he still kept things going, despite, right, with the breeding program, which I feel like is off the books. What do you hear? Or smell? Yeah. He was never leaving you alone, sis. It's never gonna happen.
하늘만 보고 살았는데.
Pretty conspicuous place for me to be. Shouldn't you strap her in or something? Look how gently he's flying her up. He practically threw Ju-won into the stratosphere. This is so sexist. Also so much easier to catch on film. Come on, guys. Although this is supposed to still be the 90s, I think, so... Still not a time with lots of camera phones. Damn, y'all work fast. Why is him staying on the ground so easy? Why does Bong Sok struggle so much? Don't do it. Don't do it.
뭘 나왔어요.
It must be so hard, though, when you know you can do that. And you can't use it.
시골 가서 농사나 지어라 이딴 소리 하면 나 진짜 총으로 쏴버릴 거야.
He's not joking. And he won't miss.
독일의 기적이라고 그런 게 있대요. 100일 지나면 아는데.
아이고 어머니 공속이 200일
Lies. Lies.
공서가 엄마?
We talking about Oma. That baby's like 3 months old. Give him a break, please. Well, this is a problem. He's like, shit. You didn't think about that, did you? I mean, power of love just took over, you know? Oh, look at his face. He is really distressed. Oh, okay. Safety net's good idea. Because we still have no idea how he got his abilities or her. It's still a huge question. And was it a pleasant experience? Big smiles for what? I know so little about the North and South Korean history. I only really know that they were at war. Well, they are technically still, but you know what I mean. Like, that's very little, very little. I'm sure these events have far more cultural significance for those who live there or know the history better. Who does he know to keep having a job? Like, he had a pretty huge screw up with what happened with Doshik. Like, why is he still employed?
모두들 들어오라래.
Who's everyone?
다요?
구경품 빼지.
Interesting.
다시 시작하지.
Oh, you think so, hey?
그때가 되면 우리 서울 외곽으로 가서 식당 갑시다.
Aw.
당신은 요리하고 나는 청소하고 설거지하고 배달하고.
So she did all of that for him. Too invested in your love to know that your son. Cute! He's so cute. Yep, I'm like, eventually he's gonna go outside. He's big enough to reach a door now. Damn.
해운대 열려 있고 우리 봉석이가 아니 어디?
Like, relax. I used to do this all the time. Typical Friday night when I was growing up. Like, the sky's kind of massive. He could be anywhere. And clouds getting in your way being ops. So this is Kwon Suk's memory. He's like, help. Somebody, anyone, please help. Help. What do you mean, boy? I don't know. I just followed a butterfly. Damn.
열은 없네.
Why would he? He's built for this.
많이 놀랬죠?
No, her nerves will be frazzled for at least a few weeks. Who the hell are you? Why are you here? Get lost. Catman. Catman, I know those furry ears. So he was sent. So this is why she ran. He must have given himself up so that they could stay safe. And you know that little bitch Min is gonna want revenge.
내가 앞쪽에서 유인할 테니까 봉석이 데리고 뒤쪽으로 빠져나가요.
같이 가요.
저들이 한밤중에 왔다는 건 이미 우리 가족을 다 알고 온 거예요.
Yep.
내가 어떤 인생을 살았는지 알아요?
No, we have no idea.
걱정 마요. 곧 올게요.
And yeah, Bong Suk's now 18, and he didn't come back.
내가 어떻게든 찾아갈 테니까.
I feel like he already did, but he just hasn't come back for your sake. I hope so. I'll be sad if they got him. Get higher, get higher. I'm serious. I don't know. Those guys who said Sunbae, that guy with the long hair is making me nervous. Higher, drop his ass and jump. Higher. Why are you flying so low? Her! You bitch. Oh, I didn't recognize him with that long ass Joseon era hair. Well, now I'm not so sad y'all got deleted. Did you not just power him up? Straight up. Straight up. I don't think he made it out of this.
지금이야.
He's such a good dad. Bong Suk-ah, avenge your father. Take Min out, but slowly he needs to suffer.
내가 날 또 엿먹이는구나. 씨발 새끼.
And that's why you tie up your loose ends. Sorry, but you should have taken care of Min. This wouldn't be happening if you did. And now we go back to episode 2. But why didn't he want Juwon back? That's what I'm wondering. He wanted everyone back but Juwon. Why?
영수증은 주셔야 돼요. 예?
Always following them. Why? I guess it was to keep an eye on the kid. Because we know that Min was looking at the breeding program, and I think that started long before this. Oh, what a frustrating episode, but understandable. So, oh man, so this means it's very possible that Doshik is still alive, but possibly just literally tied down, weighed down, locked up, because there's no way Min would ever trust him on a mission again. I think if anything, he kept him for his genetics, but that was it. So many questions still left after this episode, though. Like I said, I still think there's that huge, astounding question of how did Dushik get his powers? How did Juwon get his powers? How did Mian get hurt? Like, there's so, like, these OGs, how did they get their powers? Who created them? Did they just get a genetic, like, win the genetic lottery? Like, there's so many questions. Oh, wow. But yeah, good episode to see kind of like how we got to where we kind of started the show. I was saying like everyone was kind of scattered. We saw the beginning of the partnership between Juwon and Doshik last episode. This episode, we got a little bit of an idea of how the two of them work together. Juwon definitely got the crap end of that stick. I mean, yes, I get it. The man heals, but man, the amount of pain he's endured, it's kind of disgusting. Which is why I'm glad that he's kind of at least had a few years of being able to just chill out and raise his daughter. It's the very least he deserved. But digressing, we see that after that mission, we knew from the last episode that after Doshik went off mission, which I don't think he actually did it. I think he didn't do what he was supposed to do. And that's why we saw Mr. Min get mad because, as I said last episode, I don't think it was a sanctioned mission. I think he went off script, and he did. And now he was getting heat. And I think he fully planned on pinning the whole thing on Doshik, no matter what happened. So Doshik knew that. He knew that he was in trouble, and that's why he didn't want to come back. But he also realized, because he's been watching we see that he's constantly watching Mian. He knew that Min must have been watching her and that he was basically making her life a living hell, right? Because we saw in the episode that Mian kept saying like his life is bad for me or is bad because of me, because if he had met me and fallen in love with me, he would have just disappeared and Min would have never been able to find him, especially back in the 90s, please. He could have just flown to America, flown to Europe, disappeared amongst the masses, never found again, right? But because he had that emotional tie, and we know now that there's one thing about Doshik is that he's like Bongsuk. Once they latch on, they're lover boys. They do not leave. Like, he's been obsessed with Mian since before Mian even knew he existed. So yeah, he was never going to leave Mian. There was no way he was going to disappear without her. And so he realized he had to try to find a way to set them both free of Min's control. And so he thought he found that by planning out the mission of letting himself get caught and then making it seem like he was over Mian, that she betrayed him, so he was never going to trust her again. And, then he even shot at her, but we know that now that he already planned that with Juwon to make sure she didn't actually get hurt. I was thinking like she wouldn't have died from a gunshot wound to the arm, but all the same, if you love somebody, you're not going to hurt them on purpose. But anyway, so yeah, that happened. And of course, the whole incident that happened, it became such a big mess that the ANSP had to break up because the government didn't want any culpability. So it was a temporary solution, but we see that Doshik was smart enough not to run right back to Mian, because obviously if he went back right away, he knew that the ANSP and then eventually the government and what became now the NIS were always going to be, well, not always, but they were going to keep an eye on her for some time afterwards just to make sure if he came back or not. But we see, it looks like he stayed away for at least a few years till the heat died down. And we see that in the end, like she said, she did everything she could to try to live a normal life without him, but she loves him. She's in love with him. There was no way she was moving on in life fully without him coming back, or at least letting her know that he was okay. And then they started their life. It looked like to me like in Jeju. It looked like, looking at that type of weather, growing apples. It just, the looks of it looks like Jeju to me. But anyway, they moved someplace far away from everyone, hoping it would be enough for them to have some peace. We see that they started their family, and they discovered that little Bong Suk-yi took after his father. I mean, he takes after both parents, but I'm not sure whether or not his mom's figured that out yet. But anyway, he starts floating at 6-7 months old. So you see this, I think it was really interesting that you see that Mian kind of takes it in stride, so to speak, because I mean, obviously she must have known there was a chance that Bong Suk would possibly inherit one of their powers. But you see that on Do-shik's face, it's just ashen. Like it's not joy of, wow, he's like me. It's like, wow, he's like me. Right? So just and I would say it was a combination of fear and disappointment, but not in Bong Suk himself, but clearly there's some darkness associated with this power. Like we've gotten, since we've been introduced to Do-shik, that he does not like using his abilities the way that he's been forced to use them. He doesn't want to be an aerial assassin, but that's what he's been forced to do because of Mr. Min. And you've seen that he's gone off script a few times, like he's rebelled as much as he can, but in the end, there's only so much he could do while he was still under the work of the ANSP. And again, I think he was hoping that Bong Suk would just be a normal kid so that he could just live a normal life and never have to deal with the pressures of living with this power. And worse, what would happen if a government agency ever found out about it and got a hold of him. And we see that, that comes to light later on when eventually they are found by that weird ass cat man. And, he basically is like, you have to take Bong Suk. He's like, you don't know what my life is like. I can't let him go through what I went through. And so I'm thinking that Do-shik had the same experience that Frank did back in the States, but probably again, a similar program, possibly better or worse. I don't know. But I think that was very much what happened. I think that from a very young age, he was found and trained, because his level of control over his powers is insane. And when you look at Bong Suk, where Bong Suk is compared to where he is, and I mean, how old? Didn't I say a couple episodes ago that Do-shik is about 50-some years old? So assuming that he's been floating around since he was a child, that's a lot. That's still a crazy amount of control over his powers in a very short amount of time. So I got to think that he was put through some intense, rigorous training, that it's traumatizing, that it's been hell, and that he's basically been the property of the ANSPs for as long as he can remember. And that's why he's absolutely was bound and determined not to let them get Bong Suk, right? And it's really sad that we saw in the end there that when, they realized they've been caught, because remember, even he was saying, I think we should move. I'm not sure if we're still safe here. And she was like, no, it's better. We're in the country. It's easy. It's remote. But I get why he felt like they had to keep moving. And honestly, I know for the sake of this drama and of course of what it is, they had to stay in Korea. But I'm like, if I was wanted by a government agency where I knew other superpowered people were around, the first thing I would do with my then or at least pregnant wife, I would be getting the hell out of there. I'd be flying us to someplace so far away that if they even dared to come near us, there would be so many foreign red tape and issues that they'd never be able to get us. Anyways, like I said, I know for the sake of the drama and everything else, they had to keep it Korea bound. But anyway, so we see that when they show up, poor, Do-shik's like, okay, well, we can't all escape together, right? Because she's saying no, just come with us. And he's like, I can't. If we try to escape together, they're just going to follow us, and we're not going to make it out of here if we're surrounded. And even if we do, we're just going to have to keep doing this over and over and over again. It's not going to end. So he wants me, right? Min wants me for not only because he's always thought he owns me, but I did a little, I might have left him a little scar on his face. So he's like, at least with you, he never thought of you as anything other than a means to get to me. And he doesn't know about Bong Suk. So go, right? I'll give you time and you go out there and keep him safe and I'll catch up. Even though I think he knew very well that if they caught him, he wasn't going back, right? But I think he knew that if he went through all of these lengths and Min is still after him, I think that's what he realized, is that Min will never leave us alone. Not while I'm still with you, not while I'm still breathing. So if I separate myself from you, then at least you have a chance of living, and Bong Suk has a chance of living without Min breathing down our necks. So yeah, we see him go. The fight's kind of cool. We're introduced to people we've already met. I honestly did not even recognize those people. It's so funny. You think I would recognize the electric man and the shooting girl, but they look very different. They made sure to make them look very different. Like I said, now that I know that they were party to having Doshik captured, I'm not so mad that they got taken out by Frank now. I said what I said. They got what they deserved. Anyway, so yeah, we see that Doshik basically did what he had to do. He let himself get caught because he needed to keep their focus on him rather than looking for his family. It saddens me, but I'm pretty sure that he's still alive, but probably someplace where he's I'm trying to think of how you contain him, because he's not really super, super strong in the sense of like punch through walls strong. Like, I don't think he's strong like the class Prez strong, but he's super fast. So I guess if he gets enough momentum, he could probably break through. But see, he shot the glass before he broke through it though. So yeah, anyway, he can get hurt is my point. He can obviously, his body's not unbreakable. So yeah, I think they probably just have him in a place with some pretty thick walls, no windows, and some place where he can't get enough speed to really do anything. So that's pretty sucky for him, especially when you spent most of your life in the air. It probably sucks for him to be where he is. But if he's still here, that's all I care about, which means he can be rescued. And, you know, maybe Ju-on will go for him again if he finds out that he's still around. But again, I said I still have a huge question mark as to why why Min didn't want to bring Ju-on in. Very good episode. Very good to get that backstory to get us all the way caught up to where we are now and understand how it got to the place where we started, like I said, in episode 2. And it just gives a lot more insight into why Miyeon is the way she is, why she bought the tonkatsu place, why she still makes it, all the little things that she does to kind of keep Doshik in their lives, even though he's not in their lives. And also why she's so scared of her son using his powers. Like the last time we were in the present, we heard her saying to Bong-sok, "You don't want to end up like your dad, do you?" And at first I thought that was just around like the flying and possibly some of the ways he acted, but now I realize she just is like, I don't want you to get captured. I don't want them to find out about you, so you end up being hunted your whole life like him. But of course, Bong-sok doesn't know any of that. So yeah, she's going to have a long talk with Bong-sok. And maybe that's what all these flashbacks were, was her finally communicating to him what happened, why they're living like this, why she has to make such an effort to hide him, and why he has to go through what he's going through, as much as it sucks. But at least if she gives him that background, he'll finally be able to understand and hopefully have a little less, buried resentment towards his mom and realize she's really just doing this because she's trying to protect him the only way she knows how. So yeah, great episode. It looks like we might be back to present next episode unless we decide to jump to Ju-on and see how Hisu comes along, which was most likely what's going to happen. And then I think at that point we'll be to a point where we can start to move into the present and see how all these stories are going to interconnect going forward till the end of the series. So I enjoyed this episode a lot, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give some love to this video and leave some comments below, and we will see you in the next episode.